Hello everyone and welcome to another video with focus on healing. Today this video is dedicated to all my lovely ladies. We're going to be talking about womb healing. This is a topic that I work a lot with my clients. Most of my clients are women. And I see how we tend to store a lot of patterns, old stories, karmic imprints, trauma, etc., in the second chakra, in the womb area. And we hold both individual and collective trauma. So there is a lot we accumulate here, a lot we store here that we need to deal with and heal, because if we don't, then it's going to manifest as negative patterns, negative experiences, even physical symptoms. So we might have experienced individual events, traumatic events, painful events that left some form of energetic imprint in the body or trauma, but we also need to heal the collective trauma that as women we still feel in our bodies from so much abuse, from so much violence and injustice against us from during thousands and thousands of years. We still hold that. So there is a lot that we accumulate here in the womb. And what I see is that this is the main area where all these patterns with all these experiences, trauma, etc., get stored. And by the way, if you don't have a physical womb anymore, this video still applies to you, as the essence of your reproductive organs, the energetic essence will always be there. And we're talking about energy healing there, so it still applies. And actually, I would say that if you had to have your womb removed with surgery because of any medical or other reasons, this healing technique that I'm going to share will be super beneficial for you to do. So we hold all this trauma, all these energetic imprints that manifest not only in negative patterns, negative experiences, or even toxic relationships, not being able to embrace our femininity, but even physical symptoms. And that's why women, we have so many problems with our period, with our cycle, with embracing our femininity, with owning that and honoring that. And we live completely disconnected from our bodies, our rhythm, our cyclical nature. I took the pill for many, many years when I was younger, until I realized that what I was doing, it was basically chemical castration. Because what it does is that it disrupts and stops your normal, natural hormonal process. That's why you don't ovulate anymore. That's why you can't get pregnant. And I thought it was just, I didn't realize how relevant and how terrible that was, that I was doing to my body. So we live completely disconnected from our bodies, from our feminine nature. We hate our periods. We just take a few extra coffees when we're tired, instead of honoring that maybe that time of the month, when we are in our period, we should be resting. We should be detoxing. We should be regenerating. It's time to rest, to go within, to connect with our intuition, etc., etc. And this is, I don't want to go into many details in this video because it will be too long, but I have other videos covering this topic if you're interested. And I even made an online course called Awaken Your Inner Power, the Feminine Way, where I talk about this, where I teach everything about our cyclical nature, how our energy levels vary during different stages of our cycle, how different skills will be enhanced during different stages of our cycle, and how to flow with it. Once you know this information is gold, and once you know this, you can flow with it and make the most of your natural rhythms instead of fighting it. instead of going against it. You flow with it, and you can optimize your well-being, your health, your fulfillment, your happiness, your productivity, everything. It is a game changer. So like I said, the womb keeps the score of everything that we have experienced, of any traumatic, painful, negative experience. The womb doesn't forget. And we cannot just ignore it. We tend to ignore it. It's something that we don't, we're not even aware of it. So my first suggestion, this is not the healing technique I want to teach, but my first suggestion would be to start bringing your awareness to your womb every now and then, when you sit in meditation, when you are, I don't know, even when you're on the tube or the bus, or waiting in line in the supermarket. Just bring your awareness to your womb and see how it feels. Checking with it every day. Start having a conversation with it. How are you feeling today? Becoming aware of what's going on, and see if any sensations appear, because we totally forget to communicate with our body, and our reproductive organs is such an important part of our body. So just start becoming aware of it, having a dialogue, having a conversation, checking in with your womb. How are you feeling today? What can I do? What do you need from me? What can I do for you? Bringing awareness, and starting that dialogue, first step. And the energy healing technique that I want to share with you today is a Hawaiian prayer called Ho'oponopono. It's very famous, so you've probably heard about it. I only discovered it recently, though, and I've been using it. This is something that you can use for any area of your life that you want to improve, or that you need healing with. But I have been using the last few months for the purpose of working on my womb, and I have been feeling it very, very powerful. So basically, the technique is just repeating 4 mantras or affirmations, which are: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I'm finding amazing how, with something so simple, so many things can start moving and unfolding. It is very simple, but I think it's very powerful because of the high frequency that these affirmations hold. So when you are saying I'm sorry to someone, or to yourself, to a part of your body, when you're saying I'm sorry, you're showing humility. You're accepting, you're taking responsibility. You're saying, right, there's something I might have done wrong. Maybe this lifetime, maybe another lifetime, maybe consciously, maybe unconsciously, it doesn't matter. But you're taking responsibility, you're showing humility. Forgiveness. Again, forgiveness holds such a high frequency. It's so difficult to ask for forgiveness, especially when we're working on ourselves. Right? Thank you, the energy of gratitude. Love you. I love you, especially when we say I love you from the bottom of our hearts, with unconditional love. So when we are, for example, touching our womb and repeating this affirmation again and again and again, and I'm gonna explain how I do it step by step in a second. But when we are repeating these affirmations, the first thing we're doing, we are sending like really high frequency energy to our womb. So that already starts to transmute other lower vibration elements that we might have stored here, like fear, like pain, like guilt, etc., etc. And also, it's very interesting because, for example, as I repeat it while I have my hands on my womb, at the beginning, I normally start saying this: I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you, again and again and again and again. But at some point, things start to come up. Things start to come to my awareness. I notice how things start to move, maybe emotions, maybe memories that come up. And maybe I find myself saying, I'm sorry for having taken the pill for so many years. I'm sorry for having hurt you so much. Please forgive me, because I've said so many times that I hated my period. Please forgive me for that. Thank you for being healthy, despite all the things I've done to you and said about you. Thank you for being healthy. Thank you for working for me. Thank you for any lessons that I might have learned from you. And I love you. And really connecting with that feeling of unconditional love. And you might experience how different emotions come up, or memories. Sometimes I have a memory of a painful event, or something that makes me understand something, or a eureka moment, or just a memory of me talking to my mom, or things like that. Is very, very interesting, and I'm finding it very healing and very powerful. And I do this every time before going to bed. So also because of the high frequency of these affirmations, I find myself in a much better state before going to sleep. So even though I've said more or less how to do it, just a summary, step by step. Obviously find the space where when you are not going to be disturbed, where you can relax. I find that this exercise, for me at least, it works better when I'm lying down, because I can put my hands on my womb, or at least somewhere where I can lean back. I wouldn't do it sitting straight up. It's not very comfortable. So I would say it works better lying down, but obviously if something else works better for you, that's fine. Put your hands on your womb. I find that having that physical contact with my hands on the womb helps a lot, and I can see how my hands start to heat up when I do that for a few minutes. I would recommend, this is optional, obviously, but if you're not used to meditations or techniques like this, I would recommend to set an alarm, to set a timer for a few minutes. If you haven't done meditation before, or if you're not familiar with these techniques. If you're used to doing meditations or visualizations, you can do 10, 12 minutes, or as long as you like. Yeah, set the timer, or just do it for until you fall asleep, or for a while, if you don't feel the need of having a timer. Putting the hands on the womb, close your eyes and just start repeating, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you, again and again and again. And let things unfold in a natural way. Don't judge, just observe. As you say that, whatever comes up, any emotions, any ideas, any beliefs, any memories, whatever it is, just be an observer. No judgment, don't get involved, just be an observer, just be aware, and let the body, the mind, your emotions move. Allow the energetic shift to happen. And if you had the timer, you will finish obviously when the timer goes off. If you're not using a timer, you can finish whenever you feel it's complete, or if you're doing it before going to bed, you might even fall asleep in a very relaxed and in a great state. So that is the technique I wanted to share with you. I'm not going to do a guided meditation about it, because I think it is important that you do it at your own pace, and you give yourself that time between the affirmations to see what unfolds, to see what flows for you. So if you have time to do it now, you can start practicing it now for a few minutes, or if not, tonight before going to bed. It's a perfect moment to start doing it. If you try, let me know how it felt. Let me know if it works for you. Let me know how you experienced it, and any other topics that you would like me to cover. Also, feel free to drop me a comment. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to the channel to receive more healing techniques, meditations, and content every Wednesday and Sunday. And if you need support on your healing and spiritual development journey, I also have some online programs, and I do one-on-one sessions. So feel free to reach out to me if you're looking for that extra support. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.